Hi, I'm Lucy and I'm the Creative Pathways intern at Lakeside Arts, and this is a day in my life. At Lakeside I'm based in the marketing department, so this means that on a day-to-day basis I produce content to help publicise the events that we've got going on. So from emails to social media posts to even updating the website, these all fall under the umbrella of marketing. And if you've been anywhere near marketing, you'll know that that's a pretty big umbrella, and as the cliche goes, every day is different, but that's all part and parcel of the job, and that's what makes it exciting. And it's really helped to cement the idea that this is where I want my future to head toward. And yeah, this is the first thing that you see when you walk into the office is this family tree, and I'm just peeping away at the top there. The office was pretty empty this morning, but it was quite early when I got in, so that explains that. And the first thing that I started to do was look at the print around the venue, because that is the first thing that I do each and every morning. So I'm just heading over to music to check that the posters are all up to date and that all the flyer stands are looking the best that they can. Here I'm just rearranging the print stands, so I'm just taking any old print out, adding more print in to make it look nice and a bit healthier, and just generally shuffling everything around to make it look tidy and appealing for anyone who comes across it. Today was a bit different in terms of what I had to do because we had a live stream at lunchtime today. But anyway, besides this, I'm just writing a to-do list about what else I was going to do. So I'm just maintaining our social media schedules and channels to ensure that we've got posts going out. We usually schedule the posts in advance, so I'm just looking at the social media schedule and checking that we're all up to date, and then I'm creating any posts that we need to accordingly. As I said, we were live streaming this day, and this is exactly what we're doing here, as you can see. So for more context, we live stream a lot of our lunchtime talks now, and these are particularly with museums and manuscripts. Live streaming is a good way of increasing accessibility to Lakeside, because obviously the people who can't go to the talks themselves can always watch them back at any time and in any place, because they go directly to Facebook. And as well as increasing accessibility, this ultimately increases the publicity of Lakeside, because it gets across what we do to a wider audience who might not necessarily pop down normally. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what a lot of the tech does, but I just know where to plug it in and how to operate the system. But Laura did have to help me significantly in terms of getting the camera onto the tripod. So I think that really sums up my abilities here, but as I said, I do it eventually, just give me time and instructions. And then it was time for the actual live stream. So during the live stream, we're on hand to monitor what images are being pulled through to the stream, as well as to respond to any comments that might pop up on our Facebook page. But besides actually managing the tech of all things, it's always nice to learn something new over lunchtime. And today's talk was about the Norman Conquest, in case anyone was interested. And then I had a little break. These geese didn't seem to care less that I had to get back to the office in time, so they just casually blocked my way, but rest assured I did get back to the office in case any of you were worried about me. I'm sure you weren't, but... So after the live stream, after we've tidied everything away and done everything like that, I just started making some emails. So we use an online software called Wordfly to do this. It essentially makes emails look visually appealing. For instance, the emails that we send emphasise big images, clear headings and engaging copy, and of course if you just put this into a regular email it would be quite difficult to master. And it also means that we can abide to Lakeside's brand guidelines quite easily because of the format of the website itself. This particular email was a massive music email promoting the different shows that we had coming up. It took a lot of planning due to the sizable content in it, but I was quite happy with how it turned out, considering all the information was condensed into one email and it didn't end up looking like too much was going on. I think it struck a nice balance between being attractive and also informative, so I was really pleased with how it turned out. Here I just got some designs back from our designer for the Chinese New Year campaign. This was the first draft, so there was quite a lot of changes that needed to be made. I went back to the pagination I'd made and then made some amendments based on the design, and then I sent this back to the designer for a second draft. The last thing I did that day was go on a tour of sorts for Instagram, and yeah, it doesn't sound legitimate, but I promise you it was. And this is the Christmas installation in the Warner Gallery, and this is for our Christmas show, The Snow Dragon. I took some photos of this as well as the designs laid out by the designer. As you can see, this is what Shamila drew up before making the Snow Dragon, and I think it's pretty incredible to consider that massive structure was once the size of paper. In the end I chose not to put this on Instagram that day, but I decided that it was gonna make for good blogging content later on, so that will appear on the website at some point. What I did end up going for in the end was a somewhat cliched shot of the view from the office over Highfields Lake. So yeah, I'm just adding some text to it, and I decided to put this scale thing on there. I didn't want to obscure the image too much because yeah, it would ruin it somewhat, so I kept it nice and simple. You've probably all seen Instagram stories before, so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just adding text and colour picking essentially. And it's nice to post on Instagram stories because this is more informal than the actual grid itself, so it kind of allows you to be less particular with what you post. Anyway, that was the end of my work day, and I thought I'd leave you with these clips from the Christmas market because why not spread the festive joy even if it isn't Christmas anymore. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that it's been somewhat useful to you. If you want any more information about Creative Pathways, you can always check it out online. You can check out the hashtags on Twitter. It's a nice documentation of the sorts of things that happen alongside the scheme as well as within the internships themselves. So I definitely recommend giving that hashtag a look. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed.